Is time travel possible? One man swears on his life that it is. 1935. Air Marshal Sir Victor Goddard flies from the UK to Scotland on a mission and realizes he's about to fly over an airfield he used to work at. He decides to look down and see what's become of the place. Overrun by nature, the decrepit airplane hangars are barely standing, and it's home to nothing more than cattle who are feasting on the grass that had grown through the ground. After several days in Scotland, he completed his mission and went to return home. He would pass over the airfield once more, but this time it would not be so abandoned and lifeless. He would encounter an electrical storm that would leave him with a sinking feeling he would never forget. His plane began to malfunction, and it would send him into what he described as a terrifying freefall that was certain to end in his demise. Fortunately for Goddard, it didn't. After a few seconds of free falling, he looked around and found himself surrounded by yellow storm clouds, and they quickly disappeared as fast as they were there. He looked around to see that he was just over the airfield once more, but when he looked down to see the abandoned site, he was shocked. The airplane hangars were now a pristine picture of perfection, as if they had never been used before and were freshly built. 4 airplanes sat on the tarmac, 3 of which he recognized in their bright silver color, and one he had never seen before in all his years of aviation, a bright yellow plane. Mechanics were seen marching around in modest blue overalls, which was nothing out of the ordinary, except at this point in time in the United Kingdom, mechanics wore brown overalls while on the job. Before Victor could process what he had seen, he found himself surrounded by those yellow storm clouds once more, and was struggling to regain control of his plane. Fortunately, he did, and after making it back home, as you might expect, not a single soul believed his story. Fearful of what people may think, he never spoke of the story again. That was not until 4 years later. 1939. The Royal Air Force announced they'd be rolling out a brand new model aircraft, a bright yellow one, to be exact, the exact model that Goddard had seen on the airfield. At this exact same time, mechanics on the Royal Air Force switched their uniforms. Nothing major, just a simple switch in color from brown overalls to blue. And where would this military manpower migrate to? You guessed it. A soon-to-be newly renovated, currently abandoned airfield. The same airfield Victor Goddard flew over 4 years prior. Victor became convinced that what he had seen was a glimpse of the future, and said the suspicious yellow storm clouds that had surrounded him had something to do with it. Victor Goddard finally broke his silence in 1970, when he published a book titled A Flight Towards Reality. Being a senior commander, and even knighted by the Queen, he was a highly respected military officer, and would have a lot to risk by publishing a book like this, did he not believe it with every fiber of his being. Was this truly a taste of time travel? Or just a delirious marshal dealing with mania as he faced a possibly deadly downward demise? We may never know. Only time will tell.